and welcome to this video tutorial. In this tutorial, we will explain how PPIs are created. There are 9 steps involved in creating a PPI. Let us look at each of these steps in turn. Step 1. Acquire survey data. The PPI is a country-specific tool. The first step is therefore to coordinate with the National Statistics Office of each country to obtain the dataset and documentation for the country's most recent National Income and Expenditure Survey that has been used to calculate the country's official national poverty rate. These surveys typically interview anywhere between 2,000 to 50,000 households and ask a range of questions about their demographics and socio-economic characteristics. The 10 questions that make it to a country's PPI are extracted from this dataset. Step 2 involves creating an initial shortlist of 50 to 150 indicators or questions from the National Income and Expenditure dataset. This step is important because not every indicator that was asked in the country's National Income and Expenditure Survey is suitable for inclusion in the PPI. The National Income and Expenditure Survey is run by government enumerators who receive special training and spend hours or days with each household. Your field staff may not have the time and expertise to do so. We therefore ensure that we shortlist indicators that are easy to administer in the field. The questions we ask ourselves before including an indicator in our shortlist are: is this indicator easy to understand? Is this indicator inexpensive and easy to collect in the field? Is this indicator relatively easy to verify if needed? For example, a question such as approximate amount that the household spent on food items in the past month may not be suitable for inclusion in the PPI. Unless you ask about each individual food item consumed by the household, as they typically do in national surveys, the chances of getting an incorrect response are high. And if you choose to go food item by item, the survey would become too long to administer. In step 3, we input this group of shortlisted indicators into the PPI model. This is a machine learning model based on established statistical principles which leverages information contained in the National Income and Expenditure Survey dataset to identify households that are most likely to be poor. Note that the PPI model's methodology has been reviewed by experienced technical practitioners with doctorates in econometrics, computer engineering, and statistics. In addition, the code has been carefully reviewed by a machine learning expert. In step 4, the model selects the top 20 indicators to include in the PPI through a process of statistical regression based on their ability to predict poverty together. The PPI model first determines if the per day, per person consumption or income of households is below or above the national poverty line and accordingly places them into one of 2 categories: poor or not poor. It then looks at the pattern of responses provided by the poor and not poor households to the 50 to 150 indicators that we shortlisted in step 3. The model selects the top 20 indicators from this group that are best able to distinguish a poor household from a not poor one. For example, a strong predictor of poverty in one country may be lack of access to electricity, while in another country, it may be having a head of household who is not literate. We decide if an indicator should be included in the set of top 20 indicators based on how often it shows up as a good predictor of poverty across more than 1,000 random subsamples of the National Income and Expenditure Survey data. We test indicators across geographic subsamples such as regions, states, or provinces if this data is available. Indicators that show up most frequently as strong predictors of poverty across these samples are selected. This ensures that we select indicators that work not only nationally but also in sub-national areas of a country. In the next step, we share these top 20 indicators with stakeholders who are knowledgeable about poverty in the country for their feedback and comments. We ensure that PPI users who we are aware of are included in this review. The indicators are also reviewed by IPS country office teams who have extensive experience and expertise in data collection and measurement. During this review, we learn A. If the top 20 indicators seem relevant to in-country users. This is an important consideration for acceptability of the tool. B. If the indicators are clear or more difficult for enumerators to ask than we originally anticipated. C. If the indicators are easy for respondents to answer. And D. If the indicators are likely to be error-prone during the process of data collection. With the PPI, we have always tried to maintain a balance between accuracy and ease of use. In the next step, we may therefore drop indicators from this set of 20 if they are considered too problematic to administer in the field based on feedback from these users and stakeholders. We then rerun the model. The next step is to obtain the final 10 indicators for the country's PPI from the output of the model rerun. We then assign weights or points to each indicator based on its ability to predict poverty given the other selected indicators. These weights are normalized so that the PPI score is always between 0 and 100. Thus, a stronger indicator of poverty will contribute more towards the final PPI score. And finally, we generate the lookup tables. Lookup tables associate each PPI score with a unique poverty likelihood or probability value based on the relationship in the National Income and Expenditure Survey data. Poverty likelihood values can range from 0%, which corresponds to least likely to be poor, to 100%, which corresponds to most likely to be poor. This relationship between the scores and the probability of poverty is captured by the lookup tables. Here is a quick recap of the 9 steps to create a PPI. The PPI is constructed using 2/3 of the National Survey dataset. To estimate the accuracy of the PPI, it is tested on the remaining 1/3 of the survey dataset which has not been used to create it. We thus test the PPI out of sample and determine its error rate, that is, the percentage by which the PPI underestimates or overestimates poverty as compared to the true poverty rate. These error estimates are published in the PPI user guide. And finally, we publish PPIs with user-friendly guides and tools on our website on the respective country pages and announce their release to users via our newsletter and social media channels. We hope that you've enjoyed this video tutorial. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to us at ppihelpdesk@povertyaction.org. Stay tuned for other video tutorials in this series where we will guide you through the process of analyzing and interpreting PPI data.